where the evidence is.
Yeah.
Cork all over the place.
That was tough.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Myles Garrett wants out, Cooper Kupp wants to stay, Bill Belichick gets the trail, and Brian Windhorst joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with a report in Sports Illustrated that the Golden State Warriors are, quote, very interested in acquiring their old friend Kevin Durant. Durant was on 2 championship teams in Golden State before leaving for Brooklyn and then for Phoenix. Wilbon, would a Kevin Durant reunion give the Warriors what they need?
I don't know, Tony, but it would make a hell of a watch for as long as he's there, particularly these last 35 games and whatever playoff position we presume the Warriors would climb into. Sign me up for that. You know, I've been on this whole let LeBron play with Steph and Draymond. Sign me up for Kevin Durant there, too, even though it would leave the Phoenix Suns, which I actually care about watching, it would leave them just out of luck, it seems to me. But I don't know. They don't become the favorite to win a championship. And I know Kevin Durant is pouring in the basketball. He is scoring at a rate that is Kevin Durant, Hall of Fame, greatest scorers ever. I mean, what's your list? My list, okay, so Jordan and Wilton, Jordan. Kevin Durant is on the short list in terms of just scoring prowess and efficiency, and you put him back there with Draymond Green and Steph Curry. You got something I want to watch. How far do they go? I don't know. Are they a favorite to beat Oklahoma City? I don't think so. Did they pull even with Houston and Memphis? Maybe not, but let me see it. Just let me have a whiff of that.
You and I are not on the same page right now about Kevin Durant now. I think of Kevin Durant now as an itinerant, just going from team to team like a bird landing, on a telephone wire, scoring a lot of points, but not really winning anything. I mean, I don't think he going to the Golden State Warriors, and we agree on this, I don't think it makes Golden State Warriors the champions. I don't. I will say this, I'm sort of amazed that his name has come up as going to the Golden State Warriors. I thought he'd finish his career in Phoenix. I thought you thought that. I thought you thought when they got Bradley Beal there that they were actual contenders, but they're not.
I was seduced.
They're not.
I was wrong.
They're
not.
They are tied for 9th place in the Western Conference. They're 1 game over 500. They have the greatest scorer in the history of the franchise now in Booker, and they got Kevin Durant at 27 a game, shooting 52%. They're 1 game over 500. You know what I'd like to see? I'll take you at your word getting LeBron James there. I'll see LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry all playing together like in the Olympics. But you know what still, Mike?
What's that?
They wouldn't win the NBA title because it's 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
And it's not a 1-game knockout, and they're 40, 36, and 36 as miles on the tires.
But hold on, before we move on, you tune in for Durant, Curry, Draymond one more time. You would?
Sure.
Okay.
Of course.
Just checking.
Sure.
Making sure you got a pulse there now. Just checking. We've
If
also got some trade drama in the NFL. All-world defensive end Myles Garrett has requested the Browns trade him, recently saying he doesn't want to go through another rebuild. And Rams receiver Cooper Kupp says the team told him it plans to trade him despite his objections. He wants to stay. Tony, are you more intrigued by Garrett wanting out of Cleveland or the Rams wanting out of Kupp?
I have to be honest. I don't completely understand Kupp's position. He doesn't want to be traded. He wants to stay with the Rams, but he's saying they intend to trade him. And I don't even understand that, Mike, because Matthew Stafford said he was going to come back. It would seem to me that if you had Nakua and Kupp, you had 2 home run hitters. So the answer to this has to be, of course, money. It's got to be something where they say, we don't want to pay him the contract that we signed him to. But if I were Baltimore or I were Cincinnati, I would love to have Cooper Kupp. Myles Garrett, I have total sympathy with Myles Garrett. And I thought the note that was posted was tone perfect. He said, look, I can't play there anymore. He said, I didn't come into the league to go from Cleveland to the Hall of Fame. I came into the league to try and win a Super Bowl. I want to play in a Super Bowl. And nobody wants to play in Cleveland now because of the ownership, which is terrible. Because that contract with Deshaun Watson destroyed that franchise.
Yeah.
The coach is probably pretty good, and the owners are not, and they've gone backwards.
Yeah, Tony, my interest is in Myles Garrett, too. Now, look, Cooper Kupp can help a lot of people. I think about my own quarterback, Caleb Williams in Chicago, who needs a reliable receiver like that, particularly in case Keenan Allen, free agent, doesn't re-up with the Bears. So there are a lot of guys like that who can find Cooper Kupp always open because that's what he always is. It's not 2021 anymore. He's not going to catch 140 balls for 1 million yards. You don't necessarily need that.
He's not. He's 31 years old.
So fine. Yeah. But still, reliability, I mean, come on now. But still, Tony, like you, Myles Garrett. So can Myles Garrett, in an era where you need to still rush the passer, and those guys are still at a premium, can Myles Garrett step into a lineup and do that? Yes. The question is, how much do you have to give up for him? I don't want to give up 2 number ones and a number something else. I know he's not even 29 yet. He hasn't turned 29 yet. So maybe there's 4 good years of pass rushing left, 5 good years. But
He's a sack machine. He's transforming any defense he joins.
Yes.
If I were Buffalo and I finally wanted to get to Mahomes and win that game, I'd look at him. Let's stay with football stories. But again, not a Super Bowl story, although the subject of the story has been in 9 Super Bowls as a head coach. It's Bill Belichick. And we credit an ESPN story that says Belichick is beating the bushes, going to high schools to recruit players to North Carolina. All the things you thought he would never do. Wilbon, does Belichick's apparent commitment to recruiting surprise you?
I don't know about surprise. It impresses me. And, I have some sort of related firsthand knowledge of this because one of the high schools Bill Belichick has been to, my son goes there. So here in Washington, D.C. So I know about Bill Belichick being on the road a little bit and targeting, identifying kids he wants to talk to, the best and the brightest. I mean, kids who can play football and kids who ain't going to have any problem academically at the University of North Carolina. Doesn't that fit Bill Belichick to you? Now, I know there are former Belichick players who said in the moment he was going to North Carolina, are you kidding me? Can you see Belichick going to some kid's sofa and charming his parents? Well, apparently so. Apparently Belichick's fine with this. He seems enthused. He seems energetic by it. I'm impressed by that. I can't wait to see how this plays out once the college football season begins in Chapel Hill.
So I'll go with your word impressed, but I am also quite surprised. I assumed, Mike, he would hire a guy to do the recruiting and then maybe he would sign them in his office, just like he hired a guy to be the GM and understand what the NIL was. And I thought he wouldn't get his hands dirty until practice started, and I was wrong. Because he wants to form this team from A to Z all by himself. He's completely in. And you know what I thought of, Mike? It's the groceries. He learned this from Parcells. You got to buy the groceries yourself. I'm thinking that if he shows up at a high school, how can you say no to Bill Belichick?
Well,
if you want to be a football player and he recruits you,
you're gonna be
how
impressed.
can you say no to Bill Belichick?
Well, you can say no to him. You can be recruited and seduced by him and figure out what you want to do because some other schools are after you that you may think fit your life better. And your parents may think it fits their lives. You can say no. You're still going to be impressed to no end. But let me just say this about Belichick, and this has already been true, and here's why people misgauge this. Bill Belichick goes to another school I have something to do with, Northwestern University. You know what he does when he goes there? He's gone there and done this. He goes to the